Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about woke advertising and how these current modern day, current year campaigns keep trying to appeal to like SJWs and leftists. It's been happening time and time again with many different products. We last week talked about Ben & Jerry's trying to get woke, talking about lockdowns and getting all hip with their percentages and saying that minorities are affected more. They've done this over and over again, so that's a common company that's had that issue before. And another company that we previously talked about last week was the Monopoly board game, which recently came out with its girl version, a feminist take on it that literally gives more money to female players. Yeah, it's an unfair Monopoly game that pretends it's making things fair, even though it's based on a false representation of the pay gap myth. So it's a big crazy thing that's going on there, and I think you guys know what it's talking about here. But today's story is a little different. This is a new company. This is something interesting. It's not necessarily as crazy woke as some of that other stuff, but it certainly has that flavor. We're talking about Gerber babies today. Gerber is a very popular, known baby food making company. They make baby products for people that have children and stuff like that. And they've always been known to have that very cute little baby logo. It was always this big round-headed baby, kind of making a goofy face, kind of just like, blank face that a normal baby would make. And that mascot has been recast and now it's being blackwashed, and now we have a black baby representing Gerber this year for the first time. And there's a couple other interesting things about this story I want to get to. It's going to be fun. It's going to have a lot of cool stuff in it. But before we get to the rest of today's video, let's first take a moment to check out our loyal sponsors at healthwithnobs.com. Collagen really is the closest thing we have to a real fountain of youth, and BioTrust currently has the best collagen on the market. They're offering 50% off right now while supplies last. And buying your products at healthwithnobs.com also supports this channel here on YouTube, which is great for all of us. Here you can see Dr. Matthew Robertson approves of it, and he's been on all kinds of network TV shows. Dr. Matt here says collagen makes skin healthy, makes your hair healthy, supports joint flexibility, strengthens nails, promotes strong healthy muscles, and also stronger bones. Looks great, and you can mix it into all kinds of cool drinks like your coffee, a milkshake, some food, some soup. There's really a lot of different ways to eat it, so it makes it a lot of fun. With all that said, I think you guys understand the benefits of collagen and why it's important to check out healthwithnobs.com today. This website will give you guys great information and awesome deals on collagen and other health-related products, so make sure you check it out, and thanks for your time. Now, let's get back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's get back to this new Gerber baby. An article from New York Times has more details. It's called "A First Among Gerber Babies, She's Adopted." Magnolia Earl, a 1-year-old from California, was selected from among more than 327,000 entrants to represent Gerber in marketing campaigns. And there you got a picture of the little tyke right there. Very cute. Nothing wrong with this choice here. I don't think there's any question whether or not they deserve the role. If they want to mix up their advertising, we all know that's Gerber's right. We're not here to argue against that. We're here to talk about the woke stuff and talk about this kind of blackwashing of the Gerber baby. Previously, the Gerber baby, like we said before, was just this little white kid with a goofy face, kind of looking like a blank expression. This kid is a black kid with a smile, and it's definitely something different. It's also worth noting they have the kind of head wrap similar to what Ilhan Omar would wear, that terrible politician that we always talk about. And in addition, this is adopted black baby, I believe, from California, so very liberal run area. And the first thing I think of is I'm kind of curious about this whole adopted part. I know they want to promote that. It's obvious they're trying to get some kind of attention for it. Oh, the baby's adopted. That's a good thing. Adopting babies is, of course, great. People need to take care of other people. That's awesome. But the point is, I find it a little interesting. I'm not trying to say I know what's going on with this family, but I don't know. If you're adopting a baby and then you just automatically straight up start auditioning it for these kinds of things like roles as a commercial baby, that just seems a little odd to me. I mean, I think that whole genre is a little interesting, to say the least. Taking your baby to these auditions, trying to get them work, having your baby work for you, kind of being this sort of puppet that you use to make money. That's already a tricky situation, but to do that when you've adopted a baby, I find that rather interesting. It's like, it's not your own kid. It's not like you're taking care of another family member's kid or something. Like, you adopted a kid and then you automatically started taking it to these auditions, because I mean, there couldn't have been much time. This baby is a 1-year-old, so I mean, it had to to have been happening within the year they adopted it. I'm not sure if they got this adoption like right from birth or what, but yeah, that just seems a little interesting, a little questionable to me. This whole process already has its little quirks, but to adopt a baby and put it right to work, I don't know. Hopefully, you guys understand what I'm saying there. But regardless, let's read on and see what other details we could gather from this story. After featuring nearly a dozen tiny brand ambassadors as the face of its baby food and other early childhood products, Gerber announced on Friday it had selected the first adopted spokesbaby in its 92-year history. A lot of tradition there. The baby Magnolia Earl of Ross, California, was selected from among more than 327,000 entries submitted to the Gerber website, where families uploaded photos and videos and shared stories for their company's annual photo search contest. Magnolia, who turned 1 on Saturday, captured the hearts of the judging panel with her joyful expression, playful smile, and warm and engaging gaze, the company said in a statement. She will be featured in social media and marketing campaigns throughout the year. The Earl family was awarded $25,000 in other prizes, including baby clothes and phones with 1 year of unlimited service. Magnolia has brought so much joy to everyone she meets, Courtney Earl, Magnolia's mother, said in the statement. Her personality is beyond happy and joyful. Miss Earl recalled the moment last year when the family received a call about a mother in labor who wanted to talk. Okay, definitely shining some more light on this story. The first thing I noticed, it was a photo search contest, so it sounds a little bit less creepy, like, a little bit less, you're not out auditioning your baby, but they still have a level of that. They still had to take the photos. They probably hired a professional photographer. They probably, propped up their baby, dressed it up in a few things, maybe even put makeup on, whichever. I mean, none of that is the worst. People take pictures of their babies all the time, but this also clearly is people that are trying to put their babies out there, trying to audition them, trying to get them work, and to do that with an adopted baby for 25 grand. 25 grand is great. I mean, that's a pretty legitimate prize. It's really not much compared to like how much they're going to advertise and how much real models and stuff make. But yeah, they probably just got to take a few photo shoots, a few days out of the year, and they can spread them out. So good for them for making money. I'm not trying to imply anything too creepy, but it is interesting that adopted baby is getting used to work like that. And then the other thing I find curious is, it's from California. It's from this Earl family, a very left-leaning state, and we've got this black baby. Again, nothing wrong with that, but it's definitely breaking the tradition of the Gerber website and how they've advertised and how they've promoted things. And I think if you look back at the picture, it's a cute baby, and I'm sure it'll sell baby food. But the thing for me really is the minority with the head wrap. Like I said, I just think of Ilhan Omar when I see that head wrap, and it just really kind of, I would say it triggers me almost. It triggers me seeing that kind of head wrap, seeing that kind of, that kind of foreign lifestyle brought in here. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, there's nothing against like foreigners and different cultures, but we do know that that culture has some very bad things that kind of are represented by that. We pulled off the highway, got a chance to connect with her amazing birth parents, and a few hours later, this sweet baby girl was born, she said. Adoption is incredibly special to our family's story. Winning photo search is an opportunity to tell Magnolia's story and shed light on all the beautiful and different ways families are made. Magnolia has 2 older sisters, Whitney, 12, and Charlotte, 8, who are also adopted. Started in 2010, the contest is inspired by the photos Gerber has received over the years from people who say they see their babies in the brand's famous original logo. The contest celebrates babies from all backgrounds, the company said, proving that every baby is a Gerber baby. In 2018, Lucas Warren of Georgia became the first Gerber baby with Down syndrome. Last year, Kyra Yang of North Carolina became the first Gerber baby of Hmong descent. Okay, so we can see 2018, 2019, 2020, this company has certainly been trying to get woke. And I don't understand why they feel that need. If this kind of advertising has failed before, we've seen it kind of do poorly to other companies time and time again, but they're doing it nonetheless. It's definitely not the worst case. There's nothing wrong with this special baby and this Asian baby getting a win, and then now the black baby, but it's just kind of like cringe. It's kind of like, oh, really, we got to step up. We got to give away the awards to these other people just for them being a minority? Is it necessarily going to the best baby then? No. Is it that big of a deal? I mean, this contest is kind of just a silly thing, but they are giving away money. They are giving away almost an opportunity for this family to kind of become models or something. So it's very interesting, a very kind of affirmative actioning of this whole setup. And it's kind of a sign that this company is getting woke, as low key as it might be. I think it's worth noting and it's worth bringing up because the SJWs appear to have taken over places like Gerber, and they're going for these kinds of woke choices out of a need to virtue signal. They're trying to make money by pandering to liberals, and we all know that just also turns off a lot of other people. Now, people might call us like racist or offensive for being against woke activism in our products, but there's just so many other options out there. Like, why would I go to Gerber now when I could get baby food from like 100 other companies? Like, I could get the store brand baby food, and it's not preaching, it's not getting political, it's not forcing minorities and other special kids down our throats. So it's just a bad idea, I think, and it's not going to get the kind of reception that they think at all. Kimberly A. Taylor, an associate professor of marketing and logistics at Florida International University, said the photo contest had helped the brand grow and stay relevant. This has allowed them to not only enhance consumer involvement and build closer ties with the Gerber brand community, but has also allowed them to showcase greater diversity within the iconic brand, Professor Taylor said on Saturday. Okay, so pushing for diversity, we all know what that means, right, guys? So you know how they like to say that right-wingers like us kind of dog whistle all the time, say something and mean something else. Well, when the left says they want diversity, they mean something else too. They don't want diversity like the true, pure, real definition of the word. When they say diversity, they mean less white people. Let's be real. They don't want any more white babies. They don't want diversity within white babies because there's lots of different white people. We know, we've talked about it before. There's different whites in Australia, Russia, Europe, South Africa, New Zealand, all over the place. Very different groups, very much different variety. Scandinavians, you know, the Swedes and the Finns and the Norwegians are very, very good-looking people. Those are where a lot of models come from. In addition, you know, there's hot Russians. There's all kinds of good-looking people, all kinds of white people across the globe. In Hispanic countries, too, like there's white Mexicans, there's white South Americans, all kinds of stuff. But that's not what they want. They don't want real diversity. This kind of diversity, when it comes from woke leftists, means they don't want many white people. They want more minorities, is what they call them, even though another way to debunk this is say, hey, white people are actually the minority in the world's population. I don't know if you knew this, but the greatest groups in the world are people like the Chinese, the Indian, lots of black or brown groups have far more people than whites, like European whites and all those other countries I mentioned. Our numbers are vastly outnumbered, and for whatever reason, this diversity term has suffered because of that. Because if they wanted real diversity within the world, the white people would certainly be included because we have smaller numbers in smaller areas. But that's not what they're meaning. They mean they want diversity within a white majority country. So a diversity within America means they want more of our minorities, which is black or brown people, other people, Asians, you know, other religions, stuff like that. But that's what they want. They want to take away the people in our own majority country. They want less white people in our advertising, in our products. And it just goes to show how really offensive and actually racist their ideas actually are. The Gerber baby is one of the most recognizable and long-lasting brand images, she added. Baby faces almost universally produce warm, loving feelings in anyone who sees them. Seeing a baby makes people smile and brings out a feeling of caring. In 1928, shortly after Gerber was founded in Fremont, Michigan, the company put out a call looking for a baby to feature in its ads. A Connecticut artist named Dorothy Hope Smith submitted a charcoal sketch of her neighbor's 4-month-old baby, according to the company. Okay. So this goes back to the original Gerber baby. The original mascot is this drawing that we mentioned before. And it just goes to show how much history was here, how much time has been put onto this. This company is nearly 100 years old. This logo came from almost 80 years ago, and now they're kind of corrupting and turning over and caving in to the leftist media because this company, let's also remember, they go after popular things. Leftists like to attack popular things. Gerber is probably one of the most famous baby food companies, probably one of the most famous names in this area, so them going after their mascot makes a lot of sense. We've seen this before in other popular companies too. Another thing we covered just a few weeks ago was the Land O'Lakes situation where they took off their Native American mascot because that was supposed to be offensive now. And now with Gerber, it has a similar kind of thing where they're taking down their white baby mascot because that's not cool anymore. You can't have your traditions. You can't have white people represented in our own countries. They want diversity, which means less of us. And as you break it down, it gets more and more sinister and more upsetting. With all that said, I think that about wraps things up on this Gerber story. This blackwashing of their Gerber mascot is definitely interesting. Not the worst case of leftists taking over a company, but it's certainly noteworthy and it's worth bringing up because we do have to keep batting this bad stuff down every chance we get. So make sure you guys comment your thoughts and everything below. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and until next time, you guys have a good one.